everyone, and welcome to our second session of today, the third day of the Mastermind Children's Annual Conference 2024. Drum roll! So it's been an amazing experience in the last 3 days. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this is the seventh. Yeah, this is the seventh, I think. Yes, this is the seventh speaker that is going to be speaking with us. Good afternoon, Miss Agora Sarah. Who is using Agora Sarah's name? Who is that? Always put your name after your parents' name because I know it's your parents' name by showing, except Agora Sarah is you. All right, so welcome to this session. I think our guest is already in the studio. Thank you very much for being here right on time. All right, so we have another young adult that is going to be sharing with us from their wealth of knowledge. Are we not excited? Are you not excited? Do you not feel, oh, David. All right, David and Sophia, how are you doing? All right, so do you not feel excited? So these are my mastermind partners. You see how the mastermind partners do. We show up early. We show up for our theme. We don't have time to be dragging our feet. We don't want mommy, daddy chasing us. We are equipping ourselves and bringing ourselves to the place where we want to direct ourselves by ourselves because we understand that our life is ours. All right. I remember Tochi saying that yesterday. I remember Farex also saying that yesterday, that your life, after all, is yours. So you need to learn how to take the front stage. And that's how we started at the beginning of the conference. Kamsi talking to us about being involved in our own lives, because many of us as children are not involved in our lives. We are practically tossed around. It's time to eat, you eat. It's time to wake, you wake. It's time for school, you go. It's time to come back, you go. It's time for break. So basically, the adults in our life practically tell us where to turn, where to twist, where to move, and where to even speak. So until you start showing yourself responsible enough to take the front stage in your life, the adults in your life will keep thinking that, you cannot. And so they will keep making all the decisions for you. All right, welcome to this session. Kamsi, can we have something from our sponsors, okay, for those who have made it possible for us to be here? We cannot celebrate them enough, because it is because they decided to sponsor and support us. That is why we can present, or we can bring this conference to you. So let's celebrate them. All right, let's celebrate our sponsors. Thank you very much. While we wait to celebrate our sponsors who have made this possible. Okay, so while the video is coming on,
At Edgard Consulting, we are committed to constantly challenging the status quo and finding new and creative ways to address our clients' security needs. We offer a wide range of services, including security assessments, workshops, training, and specialized equipment. With decades of experience in the security industry and a team of expert security consultants, our clients can trust that with Edgard Consulting, their future is secured. We pride ourselves on developing unique and innovative solutions that would help you protect your business and give you peace of mind. Contact us today to request a consultation and learn more about our expert security solutions.
Man, this is great. I'm loving this.
Choose Edgard Consulting today, where a personalized touch is guaranteed. Edgard Consulting, building a secure future.
All right, beautiful. So that is our gold sponsor of this conference. We also have Rear Admiral Stephen Ibrahim, who sponsored and supported, and family, of course, a parent of the Mastermind. Yes, we also have Mr. and Mrs. Peter Archer, who have also supported us. We also have Dr. and Dr. Mrs. Udo Kwere, and then we have Mr. and Mrs. Ibe Zube, and then we have Funke Oyejun and her family. We have Witty Minds, of course, bookstore. We have what's that called? Fun and play. Can we have the other banner, please? Okay, let's have the other banner of our sponsors. Let's see our sponsors. Let's see those who have made this possible. All right, please. So we have Witty Minds Bookshop. Witty Minds is a bookshop in Abuja, but guess what? They can actually send books all around the nation, and they even send books out of Nigeria. So if you're in diaspora and you want real African books, all right, from African authors, you can reach out to Witty Minds. Okay, we will share their contact in the group and you can pick it from there. We also have Skill and Play. They are in Lagos, but everything children, everything playful for children, you can reach out to them in Lagos. We'll share their contact in the group. And of course, we have Imprints and Media Limited. They created this amazing banner that you see here to tell you the quality of their work. And if you've read any of my books, or a lot of my books, a number of them, Bedtime Stories for Champions, for instance, okay, and then my last two, yes, Playtime Stories for Champions, and the last set of books that I have, Young and Money Smart, and yes, they are the ones. So the quality of our books are always great because we have them doing this for us. So thank you very much. These are the people who have sponsored us, and we celebrate them. We do not take them for granted. So it's time to take a testimonial from the Mastermind Circle. All right, this conference was put together and brought to us, of course, courtesy of the Mastermind Circle. All right, so we would want to celebrate the Mastermind Circle and tell us a little about the circle for those who do not know about the circle. Shout out to all our team members. Shout out to you, Philip. Shout out to all our team members. Miracle. Shout out to you, Kamsi. Shout out to all the team members that have worked behind the scene to bring all that you see here to you. It's a lot of work. It may seem like nothing, but I promise you it's a lot of work. We celebrate all of you. Thank you so much. All right.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rebecca Ilu. We have been in the Mastermind for quite a while. The Mastermind is a blessing to my kids because it has helped them to be able to know how to journal. It has helped them to be able to self-direct and understand their purpose, why they were created. It has helped them to own their skills, their interests, and it has helped them to be skillful. The children can do things on their own. They can read properly and then be able to engage you. So the Mastermind has really equipped them to become, because like the quote says, catch them young. So we are catching them young. We are trying to bring out the best. Mastermind is trying to bring out the best in them because they have what it takes to be great. Thank you.
All right, that's the parents of two of our partners. In fact, one of her sons is one of the longest. He's been in the Mastermind from day one. Yes, Good Luck has been with us from day one, and it's amazing how he has grown in his journey. It's so beautiful to watch. You know, we've been here in the Mastermind for 2 years, right? In January of this year, it was 2 years. So we're going to our 3rd year, and Good Luck has been here from the very beginning. All right, so thank you very much, Mastermind parents. Those are parent partners. All right, so we basically partner with the parents and their children. So it's a tripod relationship: the parents, the children, and then we, of course, the collaborators. Okay, you could put your teachers right there too. We're doing the same thing, empowering these children, you know, in different areas of their life. Dear parents, our children need to be empowered to be wholesome. And so in order for children to be wholesome, we must be dealing or taking care of every aspect of their lives, every aspect of their learning. They're growing spiritually, they're growing, you know, in their academics, they're growing in their
Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Dr. Fortune, and
parents. All right, sorry about that.
Hello everyone, my name is Jaden Demano and I'm here to share a video testimony. So what Mastermind has helped me is to help me prioritize my time, help me improve my skills, help me to do the right thing at the right time, help me to know help me to know what is important, what I should do and what I should not do. I really want to thank Kamsi and Miss Marybeth for making this possible and for helping me to become a better person. Thank you.
All right. So at this juncture, I think we're going to bring our guest on, but Kamsi is going to be facilitating the session. So I'm going to go backstage as usual, and he's going to take it away.
All right, thank you, Mom. So quickly now, I'm just going to introduce our guest speaker for today. I'll start with playing her profile and then I'll bring her on. So let me just get that. Sorry, just a sec. Let me get our speaker's profile.
Then, all right, then. Okay, looks like Kamsi is having trouble with the profile. We can introduce our guest and then we will come back to the profile later. If you're having trouble with the profile, please let's go ahead. Thank you.
All right, so I'm very sorry about this. We're struggling to find our speaker's profile, so I'm just going to bring her on right now. So, Mom, would you do the honors of introducing our speaker for today while I just bring her
All
on?
right, then. All right, so welcome. So today we're going to be introducing Precious. So Precious is our speaker for the day. Precious. Precious, so you have to remind me of your surname. Precious Mbagu, right? Did I get that right? Can you please put her on screen?
All right.
Hi, Precious. How are you doing? So Mpamugo. That's what it is. Sorry about that. That's what technology has done to us. We'll just keep believing and trusting technology and we will not. All right. It's good to have you, Precious. Welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank you, ma'am. It's great being
All
here
right.
too.
You can take me off your screen now.
All right.
Alright.
All right, Miss Precious, you have the floor now.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes. Oh, sorry, rather. Good evening, everyone. Um, my name is Precious. I'm Precious Mpamugo. I hope she can call this pronunciation because that's how it's been pronounced. And I happen to be a tennis coach, and I facilitate the youth team initiative. So today I'll be talking on staying focused amid peer pressure. Staying focused amid peer pressure. And I believe not let me not just assume everyone knows what peer pressure is because that's like bringing up assumption when I know that we have a lot of young persons here, right? So I don't know if anyone have an idea of what peer pressure might be, what pressure might entail. Like if you when you hear the word peer pressure, what comes to your mind first? Is it maybe someone trying to force you to do something you don't want to do, or someone trying to tell you things that you know it is not what you wish to hear at that point? So peer pressure is actually quite broad, and it's not just limited to the things that you must have heard about it being. So if you can drop in the chat section what comes to your mind first when you hear the word peer pressure. And honestly, before I continue, I just want to thank also once again for the opportunity to the convener and to the host of this program for putting this up together for young people like this because we all need this type of events going on in our lives right now, especially in this generation that we have found ourselves in. We definitely need every of these things going on right now, and do not take all of these things for granted. If you can hear me clearly, Don't for one thing take these things for granted. I growing as a child, I really wish someone could I really wish I was exposed to these platforms, these things that go on with people organizing virtual conference, trying to guide young people in right growing. I really wish and desire that I got exposed to all of those things quite earlier. Probably some things that are happening now or some things that ought to have happened by now could have happened, right? So thank you once again to the convener, to the host of this event. So we just quickly, we have lesser time to spend here, so I'll just quickly go into everything that I have to say for today. So, like I was saying, peer pressure. Don't forget to drop in the chat what comes to your mind when you hear the word peer pressure. First of all, we have to first we have to first break down what peer pressure is before we can even talk about staying focused and meet peer pressure, right? So peer pressure is the combination of two words, right? It's the combination of two words, and they are peers and pressure. Peers and pressure. So peers are just simply your friends, the people that are within the same age bracket as you are, people who have the same or similar interests, just like you. For instance, if you're a 7-year old or a 10-year old, your peers are likely to be 7 years and also 10 years. Those are the kind of people that you might want to mingle with because they are your peers. They are within the same age range, and also they share some similar experiences with you. So now, apart from the ones around you, in your school, the same grade in your school and in the church, in your community, even in the sports team, those are what peers actually imply. Now, because we are using the word, okay, let's go to pressure. We all know what pressure is. Maybe some trying to force, applying force to something. You're trying to apply force to something. That is what pressure means. Then because it is peers, because these days it seems like some persons once the word peers come into their head, they'll be like, oh, peers, peer pressure. Peers is actually a good word, and there are actually good influences from peers, right? It doesn't, it's not a bad thing if you hear the word peers, right? Because some of them, at the end of the day, some of these peers will become your friends. Some of them will become people that would inspire you in the future. Some of them will even encourage you to be better for the future. Those are what your peers can become. And now, the theme for this event is the future is bright. And the truth is, you will definitely need people to walk through into that future. The future that you are all looking forward to, the future that you've been concerning yourself so much into getting, or the future you desire so much for yourself, you will definitely need people at the end of the day, at the long run, to walk with you into that future. A pastor would say that when God is going to give blessings, God will not just come down from heaven, right? God will not come from heaven and begin to bless you with goodness. God will bless you through men. He will send men. And this men at your age, at your level, at your grade, it could be in form of your peers. So you need to be quite aware of that. Or I don't know if anyone here is friendless. That's if such words exist. I don't know if anyone here doesn't have a friend. You can let us know so that we will know where so we can tell Marybeth, you can tell Marybeth to put you on that special teaching and special maybe coaching session or mentoring session with friends because you actually need people to move into a brighter future. So more importantly, so peers that can be good influence, right? But then when pressure, when pressure starts to show its face in your relationship with your peers. Now, I think I'll be using should I use friends or I should keep using peers? Let me just stick with peers because not everybody can be your friend at the end of the day. So when pressure starts showing in the face of your relationship with your peers, then there is fire on the mountain. And back then, during primary school days or during secondary, so mostly primary school days, where we would have Friday PE, and there's this song, "There is fire on the mountain." The response is always "rah, rah, rah," right? So one of the things that happens when pressure starts is an indication that okay, there's trouble. Trouble is about to begin. Trouble is about to start. And what do you do when trouble is? You get to run. Yes, you get to run, or they get to face the trouble, and you'll be moving towards that distance. So peer pressure can be direct and indirect. That is something you really need to understand. Because it is peer pressure does not mean that the person has to be there directly. It could be that way and it could be indirectly, meaning maybe through a third party, or maybe just a distance kind of pressure that you're just experiencing. The person doesn't even know that you're feeling pressured. It's as funny as that. So it can be direct and indirect. And it's simply someone telling you to do something that I need you to note these things out. What peer pressure can actually imply? It can mean someone is telling you to do something that, number one, something that you know it is wrong within your heart of hearts, within your mind, within your spirit, within your system, your instincts. You know that these things that this person is asking you to do, or these things you are being influenced to do, is actually wrong, right? So you need to pay attention to that particular one. So that's one. Then the second thing is someone telling you to do something that is against your wish and desire. Someone asking you to do something that is against your wish and desire. It's also an example of what peer pressure could actually look like. So if someone is saying you should do something that you know on a normal day you don't, on a normal day you actually don't want to do this thing, that is not your wish at that point, then there is a problem. There is a problem. That's peer pressure. Now, the third thing I would say is someone telling you to do something or influencing you to do something, or you are being influenced to do something that is not convenient for you, that is so much uncomfortable. That is peer pressure ringing a bell or screaming at you already. So you have to be very, very careful. So the three things I mentioned, again, I will repeat it. The three things I mentioned that peer pressure could imply or could mean is when you are being influenced to do something that is wrong, something that is against your wish and desire, and something that is inconvenient. To break it down, something that is not comfortable. It's not comfortable for you and it's with you all around, right? So I hope I'm making sense so far when it comes to peer pressure. Trying to break it down so that we can understand it, this peer pressure, before even trying to stay focused and meet it. So now the next thing is we love to go deeper. We all know. I believe everyone is aware. I don't know about the awareness, the level of awareness that you're currently at, but the world is fast is so much increasingly, revolving and evolving every day. It is evolving every day. So the things that we were exposed to during our own growing as a child, we were not, at some point we're not even exposed to. But this current generation, there is this overwhelming exposure that is going on. They call it a digital age. There's just this overwhelming exposure that children, preteens, and teenagers are being exposed to. For instance, back when I was a child, right? I think I can give myself, when I was in primary school, basically. I think it was in primary school that I first got to know how to use a phone. I first got to learn how to use a phone. Android phone were just coming. Back then it was this Nokia button, we're playing all the snake game. But when phone that you can touch the screen started coming out, I didn't know how to use it until about when I was in primary school. But today, today, if you give a 2-year-old child a phone, I mean an Android, what am I even saying? Android, an iPhone today, that child will know how to navigate all through. That child will know how to navigate all through the applications on that iPhone. It's as funny as it can be like that. So that's the level of exposure we are already open to. If you are not careful, you'll be hearing children talk about things that you yourself, that you only talked about these things, or you only refer to these things when you were just an adult. That is how fast the world is evolving. So peer pressure is something that you should really, really pay attention to. Even as a parent, your child, they might not tell you anything, and that's where you even have to work it out with your relationship with your children, because it's not every time that you just send your children off, go do this, don't talk to me, I'm busy right now. No, this if anyone needs to build a relationship, a core relationship with their child, I would advise that they start doing it now, right? Doing it now. It's not a time to kick them off from your room or from your bed space or from your private space, right? Now the pressure to conform, the pressure to conform to things, to what others are doing, to what other people are doing, is very powerful, and it can be very difficult to resist. I don't know if you believe that. They would say at the end of the day, when all of this happened, they will be like, it's the devil's work, it's the devil's handwork, it's the devil that pushed me. It is very easy, it is very, very, very easy and very hard to resist. It is easy to fall and very hard to resist temptations or pressure that is coming from something, because they will make that thing look so good. They will make it look so good, so enticing, so interesting, that you will tell yourself, if I don't participate in this thing, I don't think I'm going to be okay. I don't think I'm going to be all right. If I don't participate in this thing, that is how good they will make it feel. So that is why it becomes very hard for you as a preteen or for you as a teenager to resist at the end of the day, right? So the peer pressure we are referring to right now, especially for this age grade, might not be something as deep as someone influencing you to do hard drugs, right? Or maybe someone trying to influence you to steal, or someone even trying to, encourage you to move on, flow and roll, do some rough plays with the opposite sex, right? It might not be as deep as that. But the peer pressure we are referring to right now is something that is it might to read, sorry, like someone insisting that you must read this particular book. That is how simple that kind of peer pressure might be at that point. Or it can even be someone telling you to dress in this particular way, like you must dress this way. That is how peer pressure can start. It's not necessarily it has to do with the one that you go far, like you must do hard drugs. Don't worry, there's nothing in it. You must take alcohol, you must drink, you have to feel alive, those things. You're low, you only live once. No, it might not be as deep as that. It might just be your friend telling you that, have you tried that latest trend of dressing that people are dressing? Try it now. Get it. Use your money and buy it. Buy that dress or that particular food. Have you tasted that snacks? You don't have the money to buy the snacks at that particular point. You will not start feeling pressure that and then my friend K is telling me to buy that snack, so I have to do all it takes to get money to buy that snack. That is peer pressure. Let me tell you, because number one, it's not even your wish or desire at the first place to do it. It's not wrong to take snacks, but at that point, you know within yourself that you cannot get that snacks at that point, and you also know within yourself that you cannot afford it, and it's not even your desire. It's someone that is trying to influence you to do so. And fine, they can encourage you to try out something, but when they start applying pressure and start forcing you to do it, that's where peer pressure comes in, and you have to be really careful about that, right? So moving on, I already talked about dress. It could be the dress, it could be music, anything at your age. It can even be books, or some trying to influence you to move with a particular clique of friends. It's as simple as that. And I know all of these things happen. I know all of this happen in the primary side of education. So we really need to be very, very careful about this. So after taking a lot of time to like study preteens and teenagers and some children, I discovered that there are actually things that can cause this peer pressure. And it's always on both sides. The person doing the person pressuring you and the person being pressured. Like the peer pressure that is coming from the person, and also the person that is also receiving the peer pressure, they can be causes. They are actually things that might have triggered that situation. And the first one I would mention is when you don't know what you want. If you don't know what you want, if you don't have a thought of reasoning of your own, if you don't have a mind of reasoning of your own, it will be very easy for you to be influenced by people by people, by your peers, by outsiders, by external factors, if you don't know what you want, if you don't understand your value. I remember that I was telling someone that the first time I actually had shawarma, right? People think they always laugh when I tell them. The first time I actually had the first time I ate shawarma was when I think was when I during that COVID period when everything was coming back to normal and I was already working then. But in my secondary school, shawarma was just like a basic snack to some persons. You know, they would just after school, after school hours, they will go in their groups to a particular place that they sell and make that thing, and they will go and eat. And they will always come back to class the following day, and they start talking about that. That shawarma that I made that we got yesterday was super nice. Me, I would just sit on my own and be hearing that shawarma. The only thing I knew about shawarma about them was the same. I don't know how it looked. I don't know how it tasted. So when the time came, I know that yes, this is the time that I can now afford to get one, which was when I was already working. I had to get myself and even satisfied like what exactly is in this shawarma. So if I had not known at that particular point that there is a place that I am going to, yes, I don't have the money to get at that point, and I cannot start using my pocket money that my parents do give me to school to start saving up to buy shawarma of what I think then it was about 500 naira they were selling it back then. So if I didn't know that there is a place that I'm going to, there is a future that I'm foreseeing for myself, I would have actually been pressured to finally looking for means to getting one. So at the end of the day, if you don't know what you want, you might end up becoming an indecisive teenager or an adult. That's just the basic truth of it. You become so indecisive, like you cannot make decision. The power to make decision will be zero on your end. And you just be listening to someone. If they tell you to put your hand inside fire, you can put your hand. I'm just speaking on is it how like I'm not speaking directly, but you know what I mean when they say someone told you to put your hand inside fire, you're going to put your hand inside fire because what you don't have a mind of your own, you don't have a reason of your own. That's the very big thing that can lead you to being pressured by your peers. Another thing that can actually cause peer pressure, right, can be inferiority complexity, right? It's a big grammar, but let me just break it down. Like you don't see yourself as someone that can do better in life. Let me just put it that way. You don't see yourself as someone that can do great things. You don't see yourself as someone um, that can actually be better. They call it you begin to hide under your shadow when they are asking questions in class. This is just a simple description of what inference complexity means. When they ask a question in class, you know the answer, but because you feel shy, maybe because of the way you talk, or maybe because of the way your face look, or the way your facial look is, so you feel reluctant to answer that question, right? You feel reluctant to answer that question. That is what inferiority complexity might also imply. I remember that for me, I think at some point it was a part of my body. And you don't believe that that part of my body was my lips. Oh God. But I have this big I'm actually okay with it. So I can talk about it, right? I have a big head, right? I have a big head, but I also have big lips. So most of my body parts are always chubby looking and I had big lips. There was this particular boy in my class then. To the extent that he started using it to sing a song, like my lips are too big, my lips are too big, or big, big lips. Like it was so funny. But right now, thinking about it, it was actually very funny. But I wasn't finding it funny back then. So whenever I want to talk to someone, that's that the fact that someone is already making fun of how my lips look was already like a it made me lag. It made me refrain from actually communicate to people. It's not like I wasn't intelligent, but if I want to talk to someone, if I want to stand up and answer a question in class, that thing comes to my head. So because of this thing, thank God that I didn't let it, to overweigh me, and then, before you know it, I don't have a thought of my own. So for even people that pressurize other people, this thing is also an inferiority complexity. It's also a factor. They want to feel themselves. So at the end of the day, they try to push other people to do what they feel it's much better. at the end of it, those things that they feel is much better is actually not better, it's actually wrong. Then the third one, let me move fast, is lack of confidence. Lack of confidence. You being pressured to do something that you don't want to do is because, might be because you don't have confidence in yourself, and that's something that you need to build from it. And sure, I'm just so happy that the age grade of this particular event is within this, like the age grade is just on point. We need to start speaking to yourself about building your confidence. You need to build your confidence. It's a very, you need that booster when you move into the adult world. You need it for your future to be bright. You need the confidence to even withstand the bright future. So then also the fourth point I would love to point out is trauma. Some persons have traumatic experience that makes them feel withdrawn, and because they feel withdrawn, they always want to satisfy people. They always want to do things that other people like. They don't have likes. If you ask them now, what are your likes? They'll tell you that they don't like anything. They don't like anything in particular. Okay, tell me your habits. I don't find myself doing anything. Okay, what are your interests? Oh, I don't think I'm interested in anything. Okay, what are your passion? What do you enjoy doing? Do you enjoy reading? They will tell you they don't know. And that's because of these things that must have happened in the past in their life. They call it trauma. Right? They are trying to recover from things that in the past that must have happened to them that are not, you know, that are not okay. Then the fifth point I would love to mention is how the children being pressured, and the children that are pressuring, how they were raised. It depends. Many of them depends on the home they were raised from. I mean, a home that it's love and parenting, love, care, intentionality. A child that is being raised in that particular home will not feel underloved. I will tell you, would not feel underloved. They will always feel I have everything that I need. They will always feel that I have everything that I need, and that is one of the that's one of the best things that parents in our generation, I pray, will learn. Parents in our generation, I pray, will learn that these things are very important. Taking care of your children, loving them, showing them the love already from the house. Let them experience love. So at the end of the day, they will not go out to start looking for love. So um so I think those are the courses that I have, few of the courses that I have with me. So let's quickly go to the effects. The effects are not actually much because most of them are just summarized. Let me just let you know that one of the consequences of being, or the effect of being, of engaging or letting yourself being pressured, is it can be as bad as someone dying, like loss of life. I'm trying to be very sensitive with the choice of words that I'm using here. Someone can, kick the bucket, something like that, right? So it can be that bad. It can be as bad as getting scars, maybe physical scars, emotional scars, mental scars, S scars. Then it could also be depression. We hear depression here and here every day. It could be as a result of maybe someone being pressured. You're under pressure and you yield to that peer pressure. For instance, okay, let me give you a much more advanced explanation. So, for instance, if you feel you were pressured for instance, or be pressured to steal something, at the end of the day, you end up being a scapegoat, and you are now the first person that they will catch because that's your first time. It can be say this things can be very funny. The first time that you try to do those things will not be the day, will not be the first time. The first time you do those things will not be the first time you'll be caught. It will be very, very funny that the first time you were pressured to steal is not the first time that you find yourself in jail. But other people have been doing it, they've been doing it consistently. Your other friends, those ones that pressured you to do it, they've been doing it. But the day you now finally choose to yield, that day is it will just be the first and the last day. So I need you to understand that these effects can be very, very bad. That's why my Mary Beth is bringing this to you. She wants you to be aware of the fact that yes, there are things that you want to follow your peers to do, but in the long run, apart from distraction, apart from being distracted at the end of the day, apart from losing your focus, it can end your personal life, your mental life, everything can be affected, right? So how can you now handle it? How can you stay focused amidst this peer pressure? You are all going into the teenage level of your life. You're all going into that particular, ensure that the whole youth exuberance will be on a very high level, on a very very high level. You would want to experience, your curiosity level will be very very high. So let me tell you how you can quickly handle and stay focused in this way quickly in the next 10 minutes. I should be done with this. Number one is know what you want to do and why you want to do it. So it like I didn't stop at knowing what you want, because anybody can want anything in economics or in your I don't know if they teach wants, needs, and all already in primary school or in second some parts of secondary school. But in economics, we're taught that there are wants and there are needs, right? Wants can be anything. I can sit this today and start wanting to have ice cream. It's not a need at that point, because ice cream is not food. Ice cream will say it's not belly full you, right? So at that point it's a want. Or maybe I think I want a new bag. I already have bags, so at that point it's not important, right? It's just a particular want. So if you want something, don't just stop at wanting to do that thing, right? Why do you want to do it? It might be beneficial to others, like it might be good to others, but at that point, is it good for you? Do you actually need it? Do you think it will add value to your life? So you need to ask yourself those questions. Now the second thing I would mention is love yourself. Love yourself. You need that self-love. As you're growing, you need to know that there is a place that you have to love yourself. Don't wait for somebody to come and look at you and validate whether you're a good person, whether you deserve to be loved or not. Love yourself. Even the Bible says it, for Christians, even the Bible says that love your neighbor as you love yourself. What the scripture could have just stopped at love yourself, but it went ahead said love your neighbor rather, but it still went ahead said as you love yourself, not more than yourself, right? So love yourself. Self-love is very important. It will prevent people from it will prevent you from waiting for validation, for people to come and tell you that you are beautiful. Know within yourself that yes, I am beautiful, I am a prince charming, I am handsome. I don't need to wait for someone to come and tell me all of that. Those are the self-love you need to give yourself. The third thing I will mention is you are not too young to have goals. It helps you to give a mental picture of how your future would look like. If you have your goals set, I thank God that the previous speaker already talked about setting goals, just gave a surface explanation about goals. If you have goals, if you have your goals set, there is no how you won't have a mental picture of where you desire to be in the next few years. If someone had told me about setting goals in primary school, I don't think, or in secondary school, I don't think I would have been thinking that maybe I'll become a pharmacist one day, or maybe I'll become this, right? You have to sit down, try to align the things that you like, align your passion, align your interests, align your desires. Everything has to be in alignment. Then the fourth thing is learn when to say no or just walk away. Learn how to say no. You have the power to withstand peer pressure. That's what most of you don't understand. But withstanding that peer pressure starts by learning how to say no. Learn how to say no or just walk away. Right? If you feel uncomfortable, if your friends are pushing you to do things, you can walk away. You have that power. It's just within you. Close, get like blindfold your eyes to every other thing they're saying and move. Then the fifth thing I'll mention is use your parents, and this one is a tip. Use your parents as an excuse. Tell them that my mom is going to beat me if she finds me doing this thing, or my dad is going to ask me to sleep outside. I do tell my friends then that maybe will be inviting me for night events that I usually overnight. I don't tell her if my daddy should find out that I am staying outside the house by this time, when next I'm coming to his house, he will ask me to sleep outside the gate. Or I usually tell her, if I bring pregnancy home when I'm not yet married, my mommy will definitely use mortar and pestle and beat my head. So all of those things are actually interesting. They may be funny, but when you give those excuses, it will actually boost your morale. Then also draw yourself, draw a dream board for yourself, vision board. Say, write affirmations, write things that will help you to build your confidence. Then tell yourself that peer pressure has got nothing on you. Remind yourself that not everyone will have the same fight, not everyone have the same race. Then please and please, much more importantly, choose the right company of friends. Don't listen to people who say if you don't beat them, join them. If you don't beat them, join them. If you don't beat them, join them. At the end of the day, you will now go and join a friend that will only influence you negatively, right? Because that is the beginning of someone who is purposeless and direction. If you are waiting for friends that will influence you negatively, you will just become purposeless in your life. Then when the heat of peer pressure, this is the last point. When the heat of peer pressure becomes too much and becomes terrible, please speak out or tell someone that you trust. Thank God for Mary Beth. I'm sure she has a team of maybe mentors that you can reach out to. Tell them, or even your parents. It should even start from your parents, your mom or your dad. If the heat of peer pressure, if the thing becomes too hot for you that you cannot withstand, talk to someone. All right, talk to someone. Then I hope all the things I have said so far is going to make you have a more better direction, to the extent that you know that yes, my future is bright. I am moving into my future, and I know that I'm going to get it right. I hope everything I've been saying actually made sense. Make sure that and also, they will also tell you the happenings. I think the latest one is, I'm very very careful of not mentioning it, but the latest one of boys and girls, trying to do things early before marriage, or when they're not supposed to do things before marriage. We have to be very careful about that set of peer pressure. There is I don't know how to put it quickly. I'm a sexual purity advocate, and I'm very sensitive when it comes to boys and girls building relationships together, maybe friendship or anything they call it, at a very early age. I'm very sensitive about that because anything can come in and you can feel pressure to do things that you're not supposed to do. Now I want to end here, so I want you to write out this word. I might still copy and paste it um somewhere. I don't know if I can paste it here. I don't know. It say the words are I am more. I am more because I have the ability to do more, and I will do more. My no will be my no. My yes will be my yes. I want you to say it as I'm saying it. I can't hear any feedback, so I just believe that you're saying it. My future is so bright that you can't see it. You can't see it with dark glasses. I will learn to love myself because I am important to the future. I hope as you're saying those words, you are believing those words because they are very important. They are self-affirmation, they are self-words that affirm who you are, who you should be, who you will currently be in the future. So I will just say it one more time so you can say it again with me. I am more because I have the ability to do more, and I will do more. My no will be my no. My yes will be my yes. My future is so bright that you can't see it even with dark glasses. I will learn to love myself because I am important to the future. I hope these words become light in your heart. I hope rather that they'll also become a reality in your living for now, for the future, because I know for everyone here, your future is bright, and you all will, that future will become a reality when you go from your childhood years to your teenage years to your where you go from your childhood years to your teenage years to you become adult. I know this word will play out. So till then, I don't know if anyone have questions. Right, I'm done. I'm done. I don't know if anyone have questions to ask or things to say in the group.
All right. Thank you, Miss Precious. That was an amazing session. It really resonated with me, and I'm sure it resonated with all of our viewers. So, while we wait for everyone to put their questions in the comment section, we're just going to play Miss Precious' profile. We weren't able to do that earlier because of some technical problems, but here it is now.
Professor Chiamaka Upamogo is a graduate of the University of Ibadan, where she was professionally trained as a teacher. She is a certified teen school and sexuality purity advocate and pioneers a platform for young people called the Youth Teen Initiative. She is the convener of Godly Teens Colonia. She has successfully reached out to more than 5,000 teens across the country and aims to go globally too through content creation, podcasting, spoken word, online and offline seminars and outreaches. She is a seasoned writer and has successfully authored 2 books, Your Purity, Your Pleasure and Falling Time, and a Christian devotional for teens.
All right, great. So that is Miss Precious. So we thank you for having us here. So now I'm going to check the comments for any questions, and I'm not seeing any right now. So while we wait for more questions, we'll take another testimonial from the Mastermind Circle.
Everybody, my name is Ruth Oluwatoyin. I'm from the Mastermind, which is sorting to MMC. I'm 9 years old. I've joined the MMC September 2023, and I've spent 8 months in the MMC. I've learned a lot of things, which include I learned how to use my vision, create and use vision board. I learned how to use my time wisely. I learned how to take care of my health. I learned how to take care of my body because my body is a temple of God. I learned how to build up my talent, this is some of my talents which I made myself. Thank you.
All right, then. So I'm still checking the comments for any questions. So let me just.
All right, well done, Precious. Thank you so much for that beautiful session. All right, I don't know why you guys don't have. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I don't know why you guys don't have questions. So someone says, "Okay, I'm Derek, and I have a question." Go ahead, Derek, please. All right, go ahead, Derek, with your question. Okay, while Derek is writing out his question, okay, we'll wait for Derek's question. Is there any other question? Okay, I can't see any other question right there. All right. So, Precious, sometimes these children, right? Sometimes they struggle with the pressure, right? And we have cases of parents who would reach out, like in subsequent, in previous classes, we've had cases of parents who reached out, or whether the children that were asking those questions in the class, saying that the child is very bold and vibrant or boisterous at home. But when they are in school, they have a problem with, showing up for themselves. They have a problem with interacting. They have a problem with being the kind of kids that they are at home. Do you think that there could be some form of personal pressure? Could there be some underlying theme that is making a child be so comfortable and vibrant and boisterous at home, and then they go to school and it's a different ball game altogether?
Okay, thanks for that wonderful question. Actually, there is a lot that we can say that can actually play out at that point. So apart from peer pressure, it might not even necessarily be peer pressure. It could be a situation of lack of confidence in himself, right? Like the child could might not actually have that confidence in relating with other people. Yes, he gets all the love at home, he gets all the excitement with the parents and all, but outside it's a and it could also even come from the fact that probably the parents are not fully exposing this child, right? They are relating inside, but getting outside, there is no underground teaching on how they can teach that child to relate to people out there. I know
Awesome.
a, yeah, I know of a particular family. Like I know these particular girls, like they are very, very active in their house, they're excited. But when they come to school, I don't think they don't talk to anyone. And that's because
Hmm.
after school, when they go to school, after school, their parents will come and pick them from school, go home. The next time you are seeing them coming out again is going to the in the morning to school again. There is no physical attract interaction when they go home, or when they go home. Basically, it's always from home to school, from school to home. There is no chance for them to interact with other children, other peers of their age. So as that's happening, they can only interact within themselves as a family, but they don't know how to interact with people out there because they have not really experienced. They have not really gone outside. They've not really gone outside to know how the world is, and that's why most of them, when they get into the university, whatever whatever they see or whatever is being presented to them, they just collect it because they've not
That's them.
experienced, right? They've not experienced this thing before. So it could also be that. Then I feel bullying can also play a role at that point. Apart from lack
Hmm.
of confidence, the way they are being raised, bullying could actually be, there could be maybe one particular person that is, bullying the child, or trying to, make that child, trying to negatively influence that child in a way that maybe they are saying verbally abusing the child, using words that are not palatable to that child, that are not receiving. I could have been one of those type of kids before I started working in the midst of this. Before I started talking to crowd, like talking to people, like talking to a group of people, it was a problem because I mentioned it during the session that there's someone, a particular guy usually said I have big lips. So because of that, the fact that the guy said I have big lips, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to be on my own. But at home, I'm talking to everybody. I'm related because no one called me. But in school and in class, I don't talk to my classmates. I just stay in one corner of the class. And it's not like I'm not intelligent. That's the funny thing. But I kept myself because of verbal kind of bullying. So it could be lack of confidence. The child have not really grown up to be confident enough to
Hmm.
other people. Then it could also be the way they were raised up from their home. Maybe the parents not really exposing them, not letting them go out. You can't go from to the house, then from house to church, and you expect those children to interact with their peers. It can't work that way. And also bullying could play a role in that. Even peer pressure too. Bullying and peer pressure could also be a role in that particular instance.
Very true. Well done. I mean, I experienced some kind of pressure like that. Funny enough, and you know something, boys and girls, if you're listening to me right now, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes people will pressure, as in they will put verbal pressure or whatever pressure, they will pressure you for the most stupid things ever. Just look at me,
Yeah.
look at my face, and look at my nose, how pretty my nose is. Can you see how
Yeah.
pretty my nose is? It's like real Fulani kind of nose. Do you know that I was, as a child, it was a problem that this was my nose. As a
Look at
child,
that.
that this is my nose was a problem. And funny enough, it didn't start from school, it was at home. So my brothers would
Wow.
say sharp nose. That's what my brothers used to call me. If I just do anything, they'll be like, you kind of face, sharp nose. And then I will get, as in, so I'm talking to you and I'm like this. I'm talking to you and I'm like this. When I was a child, I'm like covering nose, this beautiful nose, and covering it. Like it took growing up and seeing that even now when people make up, they contour because they want their nose to be pointed. And my own is sitting down there for pointed on its own, and for the longest time, for the longest, it took people, it took outsiders saying to me,
Yes.
wow, pretty nose. Like
Pretty
when
know.
when I became a teenager and I grew older, it took
Right.
boys to see you and saying, oh, you're not so pretty, and all of those kind of things for me to start building confidence on top a
In
matter that
yourself.
your
It's so.
parents or someone at home, and sometimes we're pressured and we don't talk to our parents about these things, and we
Yeah.
just take it for granted. We let it just go like that,
Yeah.
and children deal with all kinds of silly pressure. I remember when I started growing, you know, when I started growing, boss, basically, when I started growing boss, I remember that was a problem also. And my mom was part of the problem. Because as far as she was concerned, it started too early. Then she would come, she would be like, she was trying to like anything to do to make it be not as it shouldn't come out nice. So you find that you are walking and you're like this, like you're actually, curving your back just so that they don't see from your uniform that you are beginning to, grow, boobs, I mean, busts, as if it's anything
Yes.
that is within your control, right?
Yes.
And this is because we
Yes.
did not have the right conversation with the children, basically, and all that. You will see the boys that are growing tall, and you see the boy constantly trying to slouch or bend because for some reason you are too tall. Can you imagine? And then a time will come in your life where being tall is a big deal. So
It's a
if
big deal.
parents are not telling, yes, if parents are not telling children what they need to hear, if we're not affirming them, thank you for that affirmation you gave the children. Thank you so much. Those of them in the mastermind will know what that is because they get an affirmation every day. Because we believe that when you speak through your mouth, your brain takes it in and your
Yeah.
subconscious mind stores it. So at any point
Yes.
in your life where you are beginning to doubt yourself, thank God for the subconscious mind. It will repeat to you what it stored in there that can uplift you in that area. So we say to the children, just say it out. Say it's not even something that you just look at and go, no, it's an affirmation. Affirm, open your mouth and say it to yourself so that you can believe your subconscious mind will take it in and, basically very, very key this. All right. So because we're not affirming these children as parents, because we're not telling them who they are, right, then they're bound to listen to all the negative things, and if we've not created
Yes.
an environment where they can come back and relate to us what they say to them. My daughter is on the big side, as in she started adding weight at some point, and she'll come home and tell me one time that one of her friends called her fat or something like that. I can't even remember what is it that she used to push back. What was it? But I equate her. Always have something to push back and tell them to get up to do.
Yes.
I can't remember. And then that's how so my daughter is ready. She always has an answer. At some point, she was calling one of her classmates. Every time she does something, classmates will be like, I'm not your senior. I'm not your mate. At some point, she went to find the person started again. She said, oh, sorry, auntie. And then she called the person. They're like, sorry, auntie, this person. Sure, you want auntie or yeah, take your auntie. You take the respect that you want. You understand? So we must teach children not to fight, right? But to let these bullies or these people who want to put them under pressure because of the way they look and all of that, because that's a very subtle kind of, peer pressure that we don't talk about a lot. We feel peer pressure is just when people tell you, come and do something that you don't want to do. You mentioned that when they put you under pressure to do something that is not, what you want to do, something that is not convenient for you, or something that is against your desire or your values and all of that. But there are these subtle ones also that is actually people making you feel bad about yourself. And that's the one that actually sinks really deep. That's the one that sinks deep, really deep. I mean, look at you, beautiful you. And then someone makes you for 4 or 5 years of your life keep thinking that your lips is something to hide. Do you understand? So it's a lot. For some, it's leg. For some, it's lips. For some, it's
Yes.
their weight. And so you see children get into all kinds of crazy habits and crazy things just because someone said 114, 12. 10-year-old that doesn't even know nothing about what should be or shouldn't be just comes, puts you under pressure, and you find that the
Exactly.
child is do you understand? Some is cardigan. They start wearing hoodies and wearing all of that just to hide what someone has said is not cool about them. So we need to have these conversations with the children, and we need to empower them with these affirmations so that they know they are more. In the mastermind, I don't joke. I tell them every day, do you know who you are? Like, do you know who you are? You need to remind these children of who they are, because sometimes that's all they need to raise their head
Yeah.
up and to remember that they are a city that is set upon a hill. Thank you so
Yeah.
much,
So much, man.
Precious. So I
Thank you so
see a question here. Someone says, let me see. Tamsi disappeared. It's not your session. My question is, when someone is under peer pressure and I don't know, and they are planning something. So I think it's the same person, but the questions are not
much.
sitting together. Okay, let me see. So they get lots of work and cannot continue planning. I don't know. So I want to think that this child is saying, what if you are planning? I really, let me not assume that I know. I really do not know what he's trying to say. Okay, let's take another one. So if you are still here, please, you can write this in a better way that we can understand, or put it in the group and we'll answer there. What if you have parents who do not listen to you when you explain to them? So what should they do in this case, Miss Precious?
It's very okay. This
And let
is
me add the second
actually
question. The
it's
second
very
question, let me add the
dicey
second question so
because
that you take them together. Let me add this second one so that you take them together. I said,
okay,
what if you are being over pressured? What should you do? So you can take the two
when
together.
okay,
Over pressured.
okay. So the first one that said okay, the first one that said, what if your parents that doesn't what if your parent doesn't listen to you when you explain to them? This can be very dicey because at the first place, as a parent, I don't know, please, if your parents here, please always try to listen to your children. I know there's sometimes we might take care of the way we work and our career, but listening to our children is very important. I would advise this particular child to speak to someone. If it was an adult, I would have said someone that the Holy Spirit is leading you to do so, and someone that God is actually leading you to talk to. But there, thank God, there are teen coaches out there. There are children advocates out there. There is Auntie Mary Beth out there that you can always talk to. You can always talk to and try and confide, but be sure that you can confide in them. The truth is, most of these parents, as a child, they don't want to listen. They believe that they know better. I am talking from experience. And my father, my father is someone that believes that a child cannot tell him what to do. So the way I handled all of those situations at that particular point is I talk to people that I trust in, that I can confide, elderly ones that can actually listen to me, right? So what if your parents that doesn't listen? Just don't still keep it to yourself. Talk to someone that you can trust, an adult you can trust, maybe a coach, a mentor. I'm sure you'll have advised them on the importance of mentorship. My Mary Beth is a mentor. You can always reach out to her to talk to her about it. Then also when you are being over pressured, what should you do? I think I highlighted every of these things while I was talking. I mentioned the fact that you can walk away. You can walk away. You can talk to someone. You can talk to your guardian. Talk to your parents. I also mentioned that you can choose to say no. You can't be overly pressured that you can't say no. And I know there's a point you have to build yourself to that extent, and that's why those affirmative words, that you need to take them serious. You need to believe, not just say it, also believe it. There's power in saying, but there's much more power in believing those things that you're saying. Walk away. You can walk away from that time where you are overly pressured to do something. More importantly, talk to someone. I told my cousin yesterday that if somebody is forcing you to do something that you don't want to do, don't if you feel you cannot handle it, come to meet me, come and tell me. When I talk to that person, let me now see how well, how deeper, or how far the person wants to still keep pressuring you. So it might not be that simple, but it's the best thing to do at that point. So that's what I would just say for those two questions. I think some other person will do these questions.
All right. So thank you so much, Precious. At this point, I think we've come to the end of this session. Thank you for answering all our questions. Thank you for coming here today. Thank you for being part of this experience. I'm sure the children will they will listen to this. Those of them who were not here, it's a Sunday, so it's dicey. A lot of the kids in diaspora cannot join because I'm sure a lot of them are in church at this time. They are 4, 5, 6 hours difference and all of that. So many people will be catching the replays later. All right. So thank you so much for this session. We will just take 1 or 2 more messages and we will call it, we will end the session. We have the next session at 7 p.m. Is it? Yes, we have our next session at 7 p.m. So you can take a breather and then get ready to come back for your second session. Kamsi, are you ready? All right. Thank you so much, Precious.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So,
hello everyone. I'm Josh Stevengo and I'm a partner in the Mastermind Circle. I joined the Mastermind Circle 2 or 3 years back and it has improved me in so many areas of my life. It has improved me with my presentation skills because now when I read a book, I remember to do the presentation.
Hi everyone, I'm Amina.
Hello everyone, I'm Josh Stevengo and I'm a partner in the Mastermind Circle. I joined the Mastermind Circle 2 or 3 years back and it has improved me in so many areas of my life. It has improved me with my presentation skills because now when I read a book, I remember to do the presentation and it always turns out better than the last one. It has also improved me with my knowledge from money because now I know that I should be able to save, spend, and invest and maybe even help charity with my money. It has also helped me to prioritize because before I used to waste a lot of my time doing random stuff, but now I've improved and now I know what I'm supposed to do per time. It has also improved my reading because now I read more self-development books. Right now I'm reading The Richest Man in Babylon and my parents didn't even tell me to read it. So the Mastermind Circle has impacted me greatly these past years. Thank you.
all right. So that was a testimonial from one of our senior partners, and now we'll just take our mastermind awareness video and then we'll close and we'll close until our last session for today. So quickly now, let me just find that, and here it is.
Hi there. The Mastermind Annual Children's Conference is a gathering of children and young teens from across the nations. Children between ages 7 and 15. The goal of the conference is to connect these children with equally young people who have been guided, supported, skilled to the point that they are self-driven to start making baby steps towards their goals, towards their vision, and becoming everything that God has created them to be. The goal is to inspire other children to see that they are capable of more, if only they will become determined to start driving themselves. This conference is powered by the Mastermind Circle, the foundation ground for positive habits, building skills, using the talents and the gifts that God has placed within. We help children to identify their superpowers and identify the things that come easy for them, and to start honing these into leadership skills and, of course, other productive skills that will help them become change makers, saviors, and impact makers in their generation. The Mastermind program is an annual
annual subscription program where you will enroll your child and we work with your child for the entire year. Yes, our next cohort begins on the 1st of September, so registration is on right now. You can book a slot for your child by paying just 5,000 naira to book the slot, and we expect you to make 100% payments by the 1st of September. Guess what? The Mastermind is just 6,000 naira per month. It's as little as that. So the subscription is 70,000 for an entire year. You can't believe it, right? Yes, I know you won't. All right, so why don't you go ahead and register your child and give them the gift of a vibrant community of young children who are supporting, inspiring, cheering, and guiding each other to becoming everything that God has created them to be. My name is Mary Chima, and I am the proud leader of the Mastermind Circle. I can't wait to see your child in September. Welcome to the Mastermind Circle.
All right, and we have come to the end of this session. We'll see you in a few minutes for the last session. Any words from our matron before we close?
All right, thank you. I hope that we can take all that we learned in this session and begin to put them into practice. In the Mastermind, definitely, we're going to review this together and we're going to go step by step into putting all of this into practice. Please do the same with your children at home. It will make it more tangible when they are able to put what they've learned into practice. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next session. Bye for now.
All right. So I'm going to just play music for a few minutes before we close off, so that for everyone watching us on